had a massive shooting, multiple victims.
A night of celebration.
About 5 shots rang out. People started falling, scattering.
Destroyed in just a single moment.
She was a good mother, and she was a good daughter, and a good granddaughter, and a good great-granddaughter.
There is someone who is burying a child who was just out celebrating.
A community heartbroken and frustrated.
Another act of senseless violence in our city to take innocent lives.
Tonight at 10, we're learning more about the 25-year-old killed at a Kansas City nightclub. Raven Parks, her family members say she was a beautiful woman, but her life was cut short last night when officers say a gunman, Jerron Swift, opened fire on a crowd of people celebrating the Kansas City Chiefs' victory.
41 Action News anchor Gabriella Pagan has more.
She was somebody's mother. She was somebody's granddaughter. She was somebody's daughter. She was somebody's great-granddaughter. And now her life is taken, and she was a beautiful, beautiful woman.
Losing her cousin, 25-year-old Raven Parks, to the very reason why Tamala Smith left Kansas City in the first place. Senseless violence.
I really would just want everybody to know that the violence and is out of control. I mean, I come from Kansas City. I was born and raised in Kansas City. I didn't move to Georgia until 2003. But I left Kansas City for that purpose because it was so much violence. And the violence has to stop. And it's senseless violence. Something is mediocre as not being allowed into a club would make you that mad where you would go get a gun and shoot 16 people, and one of them lost their life.
Now, the family reeling from tragedy across state lines is trying to make sense of the unthinkable.
I just talked to them a few hours ago, and they're taking it, all of them are taking it very hard.
While making sure the legacy of Raven's life lives on through memory.
She's always sweet and had a lot of personality for sure.
Raven Parks was here at 9 Lounge celebrating what all of Kansas City was, and now her and her loved ones will all have to help plan a funeral, which she does not have health insurance or life insurance for. We do have a link to a site that is raising money for that on our website, kshb.com. For now, reporting live in Kansas City, Gabriella Pagan, 41 Action News.
All right, Gabriella, thank you for that report tonight. 15 other people were hurt in last night's shooting. We know at least one person is in critical condition tonight. 2 others were treated and released from the hospital.
Kansas City's police chief said there was a disturbance inside the club minutes before the shooting happened outside. An armed security guard at the club shot and killed the shooter, who police identified as 29-year-old Jerron Swift. We talked with the bouncer at the club. He didn't want his face shown, but that bouncer says Swift switched guns during all that chaos, and that's when security from inside the club ran outside to help.
The first gun he had was a handgun. And then he came then after it jammed, he tried to get in the club. They pushed him back out. He went to his vehicle again, and then he went and got an assault rifle, AR-15.
Officers tell us they found multiple firearms at the scene. 41 Action News looked into Swift's background, and we discovered he was on probation for a 2015 charge of unlawful use of a weapon. He would have been discharged in March. He also faces charges of possession of marijuana.
Kansas City police say Swift was not on their radar, but the 9 Ultra Lounge was. Officers have investigated other shooting incidents at the club, including a drive-by shooting in the parking lot last week. Tomorrow, city leaders plan to look into the club to decide if it's a nuisance to the area.
We understand that any business in Kansas City has due process rights, but we also understand that people of this community have a right to be safe.
If investigators with regulated industries deem the club a nuisance, it could lose its license. The 9 Ultra Lounge released a statement on Instagram today, writing, quote, "Quite frankly, we have little in the way of answers. And though we are an organization, we are also human like you. We are attempting to cope and process through such a tragedy. The lounge plans to cooperate with the investigation and is sending its thoughts to the victims."
Officers have yet to talk with all the victims, and they're asking anyone with cell phone video to come forward.
There was hundreds of people there. But again, to the mayor's point, we get very few calls, right? We get very few calls about what happened out there. I mean, we have to go digging to get this information. It does not openly come to us.
We can't stress this enough. If you know anything, call the TIPS hotline, 816-474-TIPS. Remember, you can remain anonymous.
You can also reach out for help if you're having trouble dealing with last night's shooting. Social service workers and a victim advocate from the police department are working with victims and witnesses. If you left personal belongings at the club during the shooting, you should call the homicide unit. The number there, 234-5043. They will help you arrange a time to claim those items. Officers believe more information will unfold in the coming weeks. We'll keep you updated on this story both on air and online. You can also download our free 41 Action News app for breaking news alerts.